Fitness Business podcast, proudly supported and sponsored by MyZone and Oz Active Australia. Today, I'm speaking to SELINA Bridge, the CEO of KX Pilates Australia. Good afternoon, SELINA.
Hello, Mel. Nice to see you. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. Now, Pilates is just booming everywhere I look. There's a new Pilates studio happening, and it's a great structured program for your mental health, social interaction, all of those things that we know about group gatherings. But let's talk a little bit about KX today and also about women in the fitness industry. But the most important question is, when did KX start and why?
Well, KX actually started 13 years ago. And at that point, KX being a dynamic form of Pilates, it was breaking, I guess, what the traditional form of, or the expectations of what Pilates was, being clinical, a bit more rehab, a bit more around strength and conditioning, but more on how to keep the body strong or repairing after injuries. Whereas when Aaron actually launched KX into Australia, it was very much, the goal was to bring Pilates into the mainstream of fitness and give people that opportunity to consider different ways to be fit and healthy. You mentioned mental health and well-being as well, connect mentally, physically, and improve their overall well-being, but through Pilates. And really changing that Pilates is either hard or niche or very specific to dancers, or very specific to, if you got the injury, you go for Pilates. You come to KX for your overall health and well-being and fitness. So yeah, 13 years on the market, there's definitely a lot of players now, which is actually really exciting because that was the plan. You can't start and sort of dip into the industry, want to have great success without seeing other people and other modalities or forms of dynamic Pilates coming along. So it's actually just really exciting to see how much Pilates has grown, both in Australia and obviously globally as well.
I mean, it's not so much, as you said, like a rehab tool anymore. It's, I'm going to my Pilates class, I'm going to chat to my friends, catch up with them, for coffee afterwards. And of course, it's an all over great body workout. It's not strenuous to the point where, you're doing this high intensity interval training, 20 seconds at my hardest and a bit of recovery. So I love the format of Pilates purely for that, because it's like a wind down, but you're still getting a workout. And it's very popular both with men and women. And of course, you see kids fitness Pilates classes popping up now also. As a female in the industry, and though Aaron, as you said, founded KX 13 years ago, but as a female in the industry, how hard is it for startups?
I mean, great question. Actually, prior to my role at KX, I was then at Curves, which is another female fitness brand. And within both of these organizations, we have, most of our owners are actually female. Majority of trainers are female. It is, my experience in the fitness industry has been so female orientated. I'd say there is a great opportunity for females to, whether it's start a brand or start a franchise within a established brand, because it just comes down to finding the fitness service that you believe in. I think that's really key. You're going to be connecting with clients and communities. And I really feel like there's a massive opportunity. And again, if for me, my experience has very much been in franchising, you're joining then this established framework. There's a lot of support. It really doesn't matter if you're male or female. If you've got this shared passion, shared values, commitment to the brand and what we're trying to achieve, you can be anybody and do really well.
So what does a typical KX studio look like?
What do you mean, studio or owner?
Oh, sorry,
Yep.
Studio. Yep.
So we're about 150 meters squared. So it's boutique studios. We are standalone. We're not a big box gym. Roughly 150 square meters, as I said. There's a reception. You talked about the social. Our clients tend to gather before or after a class. There's a bit of chatter there. You walk into a beautiful studio. For us, it's very much about this premium experience. We want people to feel like they're stepping into a lovely environment that they are obviously valuing. There are typically 12 to 14 beds in a studio, depending on just that size and the shape of the floor plan. We have mirrors on one side, typically, sometimes on both, and that sort of dictates the front and the back of the room and how the reformers are positioned and the movements that we do. We've got weighted poles, dumbbells, balls, accessories. So all of our classes will integrate a level of accessories. We've got beginner, intermediate, advanced classes. I know you sort of mentioned a bit of a wind down. KX is not really known for wind down calm classes. It's very much generally a pretty high intensity workout, but with low impact, because you're doing that through the resistance of the reformer bed, and clients, it's very personalized. You can scale that resistance depending on the springs that the trainer then guides the clients to use. So that is the core of our studio. It's very much about that experience within that, so quite a boutique, small environment. Then we will have change rooms, possibly showers, depending on where the studios are, if it's in a metro area versus regional. But it's very simple. It's just that the key is the beds, our KX former beds, and our trainers. The trainer, so we don't actually have screens in our studios. It's all about the interaction between the trainer, who in our opinion, that they're all very, very qualified. They come to us with already fitness qualifications, various qualifications, and then they go through our own academy training program to really understand and curate what we believe is a world-class dynamic Pilates experience.
So that's great that you have an academy. So let's say I wanted to open up a KX studio. I come along, you put me through, obviously once you approve me as a franchisee, you put me through the training academy, and you've got great support systems in place. Do you think there is enough support in our industry for women who want to start their own franchise businesses?
Well, again, in my opinion, yes. And if people have had bad experience, it'd be really interesting to see. And I guess something that I feel like myself and Aaron, we're always open to talking to different brands as well, and exploring, like, how can we help others also run good businesses. So for us, a beauty of joining a franchise system is everything from recruitment of trainers, training of trainers, the operations manuals, how to run the studio, how to do your marketing. There is a blueprint. So it does make it, say easy, it's not easy. It doesn't matter what business you're in, it's not easy to run a small business, but you can imagine what it would be like, and you've got the support and the learnings. I'd say the hard thing is getting the capital. If someone really, because we'll have some really passionate even trainers wanting to be an owner, but you do have to have finances to be able to invest. And I think that's, in my opinion, probably the hardest, because you've got to be able to show to the bank, what does it take to then be able to get that loan? So to get the support and grants to be able to actually open the studio, I think that's the hardest part. If you've got the passion and the willingness to be coachable and to put in hard work, it does, as I said, it doesn't matter if you're a male or a female, the options are there.
Yep. So you spoke about, getting the finance and that to open up the studio. I mean, in your experience, how hard is it for a woman to put all of that together? Is that something that you would help them prepare in order to go to the bank?
We don't do anything like that. Anyone who's coming through our process will do, they do profiling, so we match them, so we're helping give them confidence that they would be a good fit. They do their business plans, they do financial models. So there's a lot of work they have to do. They may be in a partnership with someone. We get them to have individual financial and legal advice. The expectation is, again, they are going to become, if they're not already, a business owner. So they do need to step into those shoes and be able to seek various support and advice to be able to build that plan accordingly. Some people can do that straight away, automatically. We also see that a variance in business plans and details and thought considerations will come in. But it would be very naive of someone to, if they didn't know how to actually prepare and get all the information that a bank would need, or go to the right people to help get that information, then that would be a risky step, taking on a big investment and taking on a business.
Yep.
If they haven't got that. So I'd also sort of say there's probably a bit of caution. If someone hasn't got that, you don't just make it happen and do it for them. They've got to be able to have the insights or the drive to be able to get that information.
And it's great to hear you say that. I was having a conversation with a female last week, and she was considering going into franchising and becoming a franchisee. And one of the questions she said to me was, so if I pick this particular brand, will they sit down with me and will they help me put all of my paperwork together so that I can go to the bank and ask for funds? And what concerns me about that is that they're not armed with the right resources and tools. Hence, they're asking you questions that I feel they should already know the answers to. And this is where I come back to, are we giving women enough support in the fitness industry? Are we giving women enough education, resources, and tools to be able to sit down and say, hey, I'm really passionate about KX and I want to put everything together and I want to go to the bank and I want to apply for the finance. Do you think that we're supporting women enough?
I mean, great question, because again, it depends on who we're talking to. Are they already in the fitness industry? Are they coming to events like the business event you ran? Are they going to AusActive events? Are they also passionate about building their education and their industry insights? Because again, that is a quality of anyone who wants to run a business. Like, what are they doing to learn? Anyone who expects someone else to do all that work will fail. So they've got to have that personal drive. So I think there's definitely a lot of information out there. I mean, for us, if someone's coming through the process, there's a lot of information we provide. We would never go, oh, it's a secret, just work it out yourself. So there's going to be conversations. We would expect to have some intelligent questions coming to us, and we give all the information, but we could never say, hey, you're going to be successful like Mel, because we guarantee that. Again, it comes down to that person. So we can provide information on the kind of support they can expect, or typical journey a franchise owner might go through, or the training programs that are there. So it's very much giving all that information, averages, models, like they can sort of see what the past is, but it still does not take away from what that individual has to do for themselves.
Yeah, because we both know that a lot of people that open up their own businesses in the fitness industry do it because they're passionate about it. They didn't open up a business because I've got a business degree and I've just picked the fitness industry. It's usually because like me, I love to teach classes. That's the only reason that I opened a gym. And for a lot of males in my age group, not being disrespectful or anything, a lot of them opened up businesses because they like weight training. So I love what I do. I get up and go to work every day. But when it comes down to the numbers on the bottom line, the social media marketing, looking after staff, they're a little bit lost. And I feel sometimes our industry needs to provide more business workshops on the absolute basics, as opposed to, top end scale, look at the latest technology. I feel like there's a gap.
Yes, I see. And I guess it's interesting because when you're in a franchise system, all of that is there. It is there. And obviously speak to AusActive about that, and with AusActive and there are so many different members of AusActive, from individual personal trainers to small business owners to then large franchise systems. Within the KX network, there'll be 1,000 trainers. We've got 100 studios, there'll be 101 on the weekend. There's a big mass. Our responsibility is to make sure every single studio has got operating manuals, HR manuals, marketing. We do national campaigns. So I guess I think there is such a beauty of franchising within the fitness industry to help people who are very passionate. And that's what I love. People who've got passion, they want a career. And I think franchising can then help people take it to a level of actually a proper business with longevity as well.
Yeah, so deliver their passion, share their passion, go into become a franchisee because you've got the support systems in place. You're not scratching your head every morning. You're just getting up and going to work and doing what you love to do. And I totally agree with you there with franchising. How many locations does KX have?
Well, yes, next weekend in Australia, we will be opening our 100th and 101 location. So it's quite nice. It's going to be shared by two. So it's not just, one particular location, but yes, one in New South Wales and one in Victoria will open next weekend. But then globally, I think we're about 110 now, because we've got 6 markets open altogether. So Australia is where we started. That is our focus. But we've got master partners in New Zealand, Singapore, Indonesia, China, and Taiwan as well at the time.
Wow. What about the US? Do you think you'll be heading there?
We will, and it's really interesting. We will definitely go to the US. We are actually launching KX Online to just start to service and get the brand out there. But our brand is actually studio focused, so that's the priority. But our priority is always getting the right person. So
Yeah.
we're not about going, well, let's just sell to anyone and just say we've opened the market. We will take as long as it needs to find the right partner / partners within America, and indeed any market.
That sounds amazing. Now, you've just obviously answered the next question, which was, what is the future of KX in 2024? I'd love to ask you just another question, because we were talking offline about the reformer beds and how they're unique. Can we just talk a little bit about that?
So within KX, we have a KX former. So if you're doing reformer Pilates, that means your Pilates is taking place on a reformer bed, which has resistance and different features that I'd say elevates a Pilates workout from a mat workout. As you said before as well, there's lots of studios. So we have developed, when I say we, Aaron developed and designed a KX former bed. So it's very specific to KX. There are certain features and I don't know what you'd say, accessories or functions to the bed which are unique to KX. So that just means, I think it's great in many ways. The clients will have a unique experience. Trainers who are teaching on the bed, it's a unique workout, because there are certain things in Pilates we can't trademark a lunge. A lunge is a lunge if you do it on a bed, if you do it anywhere else, but we can add in certain movements because of how the bed's designed. It might be because it's with a certain pulley, or you're doing it on the platform at the end. So that bed is unique to us and helps create a very differentiated position for us in the market. So that actually was, Aaron did design that now, gosh, probably about 6-7 years ago. It was a long time work in progress. Initially, he built the bed, worked with manufacturers in China. It was launched, rolled out into some of our company studios. And during that time, just the testing, the experience, we just realized as a brand, we would suddenly be taking on so much, which is out of our depth, from servicing, warranties, development. So actually joined forces with Balance Body, who I'm sure lots of people know is, I'd say, the world #1 in terms of manufacturing Pilates equipment and reformer beds. So we're the only brand they've got an exclusive deal with. They actually then took on the designs, then created a hybrid bed with one of their existing beds. So that Balance Body produced that for our global network now.
Oh, that's amazing. Because I was looking at the beds before we got online, and they are really beautiful to look at. Very unique, very pretty, a very smooth, sleek look about them. Yeah, I quite like them. Tell me, Selina, as a female fitness business leader in the industry, what's your best advice to women who are thinking about starting up their own business?
Well, I guess even going back to what we've even covered in this call, follow your passion. I think it's so important to do something that you're passionate about. I've loved even the most challenging days. I still love what I do because I love the industry, love, what we're all about. So passion's very key, but really being important to be the best version of yourself, use initiative, be hungry to learn, be open to being coached, be open to sharing and working with others as well. I think it's just, I love going to events where you can just sort of share, learnings, best practice. Never be embarrassed about a failure, because as we know, the more failures you have, the more learnings you have. It's actually going to progress you. So I think have confidence in know who you are, what your leadership style will be, and then have confidence in yourself, but definitely be prepared to do that work. Don't think someone else has to do that for me. Be that person to ask the questions, invest in your own self-development and learning as well.
I love it. I love it. And be confident. Don't be afraid to challenge the status quo. If you can live with the worst scenario, just go out there and have a go. That's one of the philosophies that I follow each day. Now, Selina, if somebody wants to get in touch with you, maybe perhaps just to have a chat about KX, where is the best place for them to do that?
I would say even just go to my LinkedIn. So Selina Bridge on LinkedIn. That's probably the easiest way, and send me a message. Obviously, I'm through KX as well, selinabridge@kx.com.au. But very, very happy to talk to anyone who's interested in KX, or indeed wants to talk about the fitness industry. That's great.
It sounds great. And look, wishing you the best of luck with with number 100 and number 101 opening up. Whereabouts are they? What suburbs are they in?
So this one is Doncaster East in Victoria, and then Tullamore in New South Wales.
Tullamore in New South Wales. Fantastic. So there you go. To those that are listening, do jump onto the KX Pilates website and have a look. It's a beautiful website. The reformers are amazing to look at. Selina has given you her details if you want to follow her up. Even if you just want to have a chat about business in general, she's a very giving person and she will definitely put some time aside for you. Selina, thank you very much for joining us on the Gym Owners Fitness Business podcast this afternoon, proudly supported and sponsored by MyZone and Oz Active Australia.
Thank you, Mel. Good to see you.
You're very welcome.